say every family carries secrets, buried so deep they rot the bloodline from the inside. Some secrets are harmless, others are curses disguised as tradition. My father never spoke about his past, and I never asked. But after his death, I learned the truth. A truth that should have stayed hidden. A truth that followed me. I never thought I'd come back to my father's hometown. For years, it was just a place on a map, some remote village in Poland that he never wanted to talk about. When he died, it became my responsibility to handle the house he left behind. The drive-in was suffocating. The forests on either side of the road were so dense, so dark, it felt like the trees themselves were leaning in to block the light. The moment I crossed into the village, I knew something was off. The people stared, not in curiosity, but in hostility. Their eyes carried something sharp fear, mixed with resentment. Every house had spotless doors, polished wood gleaming as if scrubbed daily. The thresholds were coated in salt, chalk, and strange ash markings. I thought it was some quirky rural tradition. It wasn't. I moved into my father's old house, and the first night, I noticed something odd. The door frames were freshly cleaned, but the rest of the place was a wreck. Dust, cobwebs, mold. He hadn't cared about the inside, just the doors. That first night, I couldn't sleep. Around midnight, I heard it. Crying, a sound too heavy, too broken to be human. It carried across the fields, low and trembling, like grief itself had found a voice. I pressed myself against the window, but the fields were empty, just shadows. The next day, I asked an old woman at the store about it. She froze, her eyes darting to the spotless door behind me. Then she whispered, "Don't whistle after dark. Don't sweep dirt outside once the sun sets. And never, never let your threshold grow dirty." She wouldn't say more, but others did, in fragments. At the harvest festival, the Ginki, I overheard children singing a twisted rhyme about Klepik the blind one, a creature that wandered the fields at night, crying, searching, drawn to unclean doors. And then, I found the box it was hidden under, the sink wrapped in old cloth. Inside were photos, dozens of them. My father, standing near the edge of the fields, dirt on his hands, staring at something just beyond the frame. Some photos showed strange markings on doors, salt circles, and even footprints massive, misshapen, and deep dot at the bottom. There were letters, notes, scribbled in my father's handwriting. One sentence repeated again and again. He's lost. He's just lost and crying. He doesn't know where to go. I should have left then, but I didn't. That night, the crying came. Again, louder, closer. I stood by the door, clutching one of the letters. And then I heard it. A voice, broken, guttural, inhuman, yet familiar. It spoke my father's name. My chest froze. The doorknob rattled, slow and deliberate, like someone blind was trying to find their way in. I wanted to scream, to run, but I couldn't move. The crying shifted into something worse, something that almost sounded like words. Words I couldn't understand. I remembered the warning, the threshold. I grabbed the salt and poured it thick across the entry. The rattling stopped. Silence. But then, a whisper slipped through the cracks. My name, and my father's voice. "I don't know how much longer I can stay here. The villagers avoid me now, their doors cleaner than ever, their thresholds glowing with salt and ash. They know it's near. They know it's mine to deal with sometimes. In the dead of night, I hear the crying drift across the fields. Sometimes, it's far away. Sometimes, it's right outside my window, and when it calls my name, in my father's broken voice, I feel my blood freeze. I used to think curses were just stories, but now I know the truth. My family didn't inherit wealth, or land, or blessings. We inherited him. And if you're listening to this, if you ever find yourself in a place where the doors are cleaner than the people who live behind them, don't whistle at night. Don't brush dirt outside after sunset. And for God's sake, keep your threshold clean.